Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Veruda's Shaco Twisted Treeline Guide Part 2. It's actually going to be the commentary of a few of the games that I recorded for Portion 1. This one's actually going to be me talking about what I did, what I was thinking, and what was going on during the game, not so much about the basic skills and overview of the champion. If you are looking for some of those basic tips for Shaco, maybe the champion's abilities, masteries, rune choices, etc., go ahead and click the link in the description. It'll take you back to the first portion. I'd like to go ahead and do a disclaimer now and say that I apologize for all the fast forwarding. I did have about 45 minutes worth of footage that I needed to get into a 10-minute segment. As you can see in this clip, we actually got our level 1 red buff, which is ideal for our team, and definitely what we like to see as Shaco. Actually went back to top lane, farmed up to 3 to catch up to Mordekaiser, and then went ahead and got pretty aggressive. I used my exhaust on him, wore him down, he used his on me. I used a red elixir and a health potion to stay alive, dropped a jack in the box, used the fear, and reopened. I actually got the first blood on this, and thank you red buff. Here in this clip, Mordekaiser had been missing for quite a while. I went ahead and hopped top, dropped a box in between the big neutrals, and headed back to my lane. I saw the red pop back up, and so I went down to farm it. You need to make sure you're getting it every available opportunity. It's a huge buff for Shaco. It means you can throw your shiv and you can still slow. It also gives that dot, and that's pretty helpful. Me and Jax actually went to kill Dragon right afterwards. I generally don't suggest doing Shaco jungling with Dragon until you've got your basic Madrid Razors, but he was ready to go and I had no reason really not to. We got it down without much of a problem, but keep in mind those Madrid Razors help you jungle immensely. Here I actually cleaned out the top left, but I had not cleaned out the top right neutral buff, and I realized that someone else had been doing it. So I go ahead and hop on over to the right, the far right, and I find Mordekaiser by himself. I actually open on him, pretty easy kill, and my illusion exploding actually gets me the neutrals he'd been working on. Here I was actually watching mid-map and I saw that Singed was chasing Zilean under half health. I thought I'd swoop in and get a free kill out of it. Olaf actually came out of the woods and I had no clue where he was, but I popped my ulti where he loses vision of me, and he actually killed the wrong target and exploded in his face. Zilean did die to Singed, but at this point I was actually trying to get Singed out of there alive. Mordekaiser did blow his ult on him and he actually did die. I dropped the jack in the box as some sort of a defensive maneuver just in case they gave chase, but as you'll see in this next clip, it actually gets me a kill. After Jax helps me out with red, I go back to base and I buy, and while I'm there, Olaf runs past that jack in the box and I actually get vision of where he's jungling. I go ahead and run down there as fast as I can, use smite on the last creep he avoided, and I get a free kill. Killing with red buff is very simple. Make sure you keep it on you as much as possible. That individual actually nerd raged harder than anyone I've ever seen, swearing up and down that he had a vision ward right to the left of my character right now, and I had actually bypassed it and I was hacking. Apparently he knows Freak in real life, and I was going to be banned the next day. Nothing came of it, so sorry, bud. Here actually Zilean got his ulti off and almost escaped, but I did have red buff, and even with his ghost I was able to slow him. He became a 2-on-1, but Singed had to play cat and mouse. He uses his smoke very, very well, and his sludge, and we actually get an ace on the team. This actually allowed us to push the bottom tower, and then I went and picked up red buff again. After I finish off Lizard here, I actually head back to base and finish off my Madrids. You'll see how quickly I can drop a target when I hop on Zilean here using my ulti and using the red buff. I should have put this jack in the box up the lane trying to fear him, knowing where he's going to be pathing for a safe location, but I still get the kill, not a problem. He drops very quickly. As soon as Dragon's up, I make sure that I make my way over there as quickly as possible. You need to make sure that you're never just giving up one of those large neutral map-wide experience and gold buffs. The Dragon's damage is a big deal, but let's be honest, having that steamrolling effect of one team getting all the items and gold as quickly as possible definitely helps out. I was crossing to help out with a team fight that I saw was going on the bottom right, but Mordekaiser actually caught a hold of me, and I could not go toe-to-toe with him at this point. I see that the damage is actually getting a little bit too much during the team fight, so I double back around with a deceive, get out of their way, and we actually get the kill on Mordekaiser. I throw a shiv through the wall, and Jax actually gets the kill on Olaf. That actually ends the game. They go ahead and surrender at that point, and so let's move on to game 2. Here in game 2, red buff goes a little differently at level 1. Here I was actually just checking to see how many boxes I already laid down, and Kale comes up and pops one. They get a little aggressive on it, and Cho'Gath leaves a little mana trying to catch me if I had given chase. Here, they think they've got me cut off, but I kite right into my team. Singed goes ahead and smogs the entire team, dropping their health, and I sit there and I work on Cho'Gath. I'm not really sure why he wasn't running at this point, but I go ahead and blow my exhaust, seeing an opportunity for a kill. Kale pops a couple more of my boxes and gets pretty low. and Rammus is pretty low, giving chase through Singe Smoke Trail as well. At this point, I really had nothing else I could give to the team. I did not take Deceive first. I take the Jack in the Box, obviously, and Jax was able to get the kill. Singe actually did die. It was a shame, but we still got our map-wide experience and gold here with my smite. I head to top lane, and I farmed a level 3 before anybody shows up, and when Rammus does, I get pretty aggressive immediately. If you've got level 3 and red buff, you need to be. I go and Deceive behind him, reopen, get that extra damage, and throw a shiv, and it's game. I was actually able to farm up past my 1350 before I had to base. 1350 is the number that will give you your Madrid's Razors plus your basic boots. I try to have a little extra if I can by the time I head to base. Of course, those extra kills at the beginning helped, but you want to make sure you pick up some potions like I talked about in my first part. You're going to have a hard time, bouncing from lane to lane without a whole lot of mana. Later on, it's not so much of a big deal, but early on, you're definitely going to need them. As you'll watch in many of these clips, I've definitely got that blue aura at all times surrounding me. I tried to go for Kayle here. I found her in the bush, but the problem is I was an idiot and I stood on the wrong side when I popped my ultimate. Me and Singe actually take out red buff right here for the second time in this game, and that actually helps enhance the snowball effect, you'll see. That gives us the extra experience and the extra gold. I can't stress enough how important that the dragon and the lizard are for your team. There'll be games where you're just, behind. Pick those up a couple times, those buffs are huge. Me and Jax actually killed Dragon, and then we saw that Cho'Gath was by himself, and the three of us jump him. Not really a flashy fight or really a fair fight, but you know what, money's money and experience is experience, so oh well. Here I actually stayed out of line of sight. They could not see me where I was standing, but they got a little aggressive on our Singe, so I go ahead and move up. I exhaust the Rammus because I see our Singe may be in trouble. I try to throw a shiv there, but he got out of line of sight, and I actually do get the kill. We go ahead and start on Kayle. We go ahead and tower dive. I reopen, but I do see that Jax is going to be taking these tower hits. I drop a Jack in the Box trying to get a fear effect on Cho'Gath if he does give chase, and that actually probably saved our life. That and the good team play here. Singe actually comes up, drops a slow, and we all get away. Here I was actually just doing a little bit of jungling, working on getting that neutral wolf buff when I noticed that Singe was in trouble from Rammus. I go ahead and run down, throw an exhaust down, and open on him. I throw a shiv and Rammus is bursted pretty quickly. Cho'Gath overextended numerous times throughout this game and actually got picked on 3v1. And sometimes you just gotta, take care of that player. If he's gonna be out there, punish him. We pick up Dragon, and then I head all the way down to bottom lane and start pushing. Jax actually gets chased by Rammus a little bit later, and he chases him all the way back to our base. I pinged that I could help him if he came to that location, and he did. We bursted him down, not a problem. After I helped Jax kill Rammus, I had enough money for my Madrids. At this point, Cho'Gath was tower hugging top. Me and Singe dive, I blow my ulti, and you can see how quickly 4% of his health from 2 different targets goes. We start working on the tower. I take a few hits that I probably shouldn't have. I just expected to base out, but instead, Rammus and Kayle showed up. Here we had a complete lack of synergy, even though we may have been a hair overconfident. Singe went up, I went right, and Jax went down. I quickly ping this little island here, and we all get back together. The idea is I'm going to drop this Jack in the Box, and we're going to catch someone that's coming in by themselves, and even though we're low in health, we're going to get the kill. I do get the Jack in the Box and the exhaust off on Kayle. Problem is, she blew her ulti, and we actually cannot kill her. Jax stays on her, we separate, and Rammus chases Singed. I see that Rammus does have Ghost on, so I need to go ahead and get a slow on him, and I do outpace his ulti by 1 step. The trick is that his Ghost ran out during the grass, and I'm able to get away. I go ahead and smite the biggest creep possible, double back towards Jax, and actually block Rammus's escape. I go ahead and throw a shiv here to get a sweet-ass kill steal, and Rich, maybe you should get on my level, buddy. I see Kayle by herself down in the bottom. I go ahead and open up, and I'm not sure that she even realizes it's me. Her health must have just been dropping, and I'm sure in the bushes there was a little bit of a clusterfuck. I go ahead and hop on her, I get 1 hit, there's a shiv, and then 1 melee swing, and she dies. At this point, we kill Dragon, and then start moving to push the tower. We find Rammus by himself, and as greedy as we are, we go ahead and go for the kill. He throws down the slow, his Banshee's Veil stops the powerball, and we unload on Rammus. The only problem with this is the last clip, because this is the last thing that happens in this game. They go ahead and surrender at this point, and it is game over. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Veruda's Twisted Treeline Shaco Guide Part 2, the commentary. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and if there's a certain champion you'd like to see, let me know. Otherwise, take it easy. This is Veruda, signing out.